Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today's going to be a bit of a trip down memory lane. We're going to have a couple instances where some existing titles have come out with updates and have reawakened some controversies that we've dealt with on this channel over the past year or so. Now, looking to my side right here, you see this image, a very, very loaded image, a reminder of the Hogwarts Legacy Harassment Campaign that took place earlier this year, and Pikami is one of the many people who are harassed as a result of showing interest in streaming this game. Now, the other day there was a big development. It's something that's been a long time coming, but Nintendo announced that they are now bringing Hogwarts Legacy to the Nintendo Switch. Now, how well that's gonna run a game that big on the Nintendo Switch is a different concern, but of course, seeing this news brought to Nintendo, it's reawakened a lot of the regular harassment campaign that we saw back in February and March of this year. And we're going to take a look at some of the most unhinged quotes because honestly, it's like nothing's changed. It's like time from February and March is still with us. This harassment campaign has not ended. So here's a quote saying, "Don't forget to boycott this transphobic game." Yes, let's definitely start another boycott of Hogwarts Legacy because the last one went so well. Am I right, guys? That boycott was a big success. Yeah, let me remind everyone that Hogwarts Legacy broke over $1 billion in total revenue. So despite everyone in the world trying to come together and label this as some terrible, awful game and raising all these boycotts, it was a huge success. A game that probably would have done well on its own was shot into a very high level of success, mainly because of the boycotts and the surrounding controversies and all of the free publicity that came with it. But here's one of the replies saying how to unbox with a picture of their collection of Hogwarts Legacy that they smashed with a hammer. They paid money to do this. They are owning the transphobes by purchasing Hogwarts Legacy and then smashing it with a hammer and posting it onto Twitter. These people aren't real. Moving on, here's another one saying, anyway, this game has a very anti-Semitic plot. I don't think you should play this game. And as I stated with the previous videos way back earlier this year, anyone who thinks this game is anti-Semitic is projecting because their claims that this game is anti-Semitic is that the goblin characters in this franchise represent Jewish people. That is their claim. Now, I say projection because if you're a person who looks at a goblin in a fictional series and immediately thinks of Jewish stereotypes, that's your problem. You're just projecting your own thoughts. You're the one with the problem here. But moving on, here's another one saying, I think it's so funny how this game immediately died because people played it solely to own the libs. But the game turned out to be ass. So when people stopped caring, nobody talked about it ever again, as you talk about it today. But nonetheless, this idea, a lot of people have been pushing this narrative. They posted evidence of the average player amount and the playtime over the course of the months. And of course, because Hogwarts Legacy is a game that is played to completion, those numbers dropped drastically over the months since its initial release. That is how these games work. This is not some MMO with constant updates. It is a product that comes out with a finished storyline, and when that storyline is done, you move on. You're done with the game. Of course, the player involvement is going to drop as soon as people get around to finishing it. That's just the natural course of games that are played to completion like Hogwarts Legacy. But here's another one saying, can't wait to block anyone and everyone I see playing this on my friends list. Yeah, imagine getting rid of your friends. Imagine dropping friendships because they're playing Hogwarts Legacy on the Nintendo Switch. That seems like a very rational response. Like imagine having a friendship that is so fickle that they're going to drop you if you play a Hogwarts Legacy game. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But moving on, people are mocking some of the quotes, bringing up one of the victims of the Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign from earlier this year, and that is Pikami. And this person with 7,000 likes saying, crying man, losers posting this again. And again, over 7,000 likes on this tweet. This account has like 100 followers. Like, how do they do this? It's crazy. It's either the result of botting or something like that, or people are really just that riled up to celebrate harassment campaigns and people who are victims of it, like in cases like this. But moving on, if you wanted the evidence, a lot of people point to Pikami and they say, well, there's no evidence. This is a made-up harassment campaign. Well, here's the ultimate collection of screenshots. Like, I am very familiar with this because I would say a good portion of these are from my videos. You can even see like the way I censor a lot of these screenshots. So if you're ever concerned about whether there's evidence of the Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign, these are just small chunks. There's literally hundreds of screenshots of people harassing people over streaming or attempting to stream this game, and people will still sit here and say with a straight face that this never happened. But nonetheless, we're moving on to another topic from earlier this summer. Skullgirls. They came out with a big update saying that they're bringing a new character into their game, and everyone's supposed to be very excited about this. And unfortunately for Skullgirls, they have not survived a lot of the controversy from earlier this year. So if you click on this tweet and look at the replies, it's full of people being critical, calling out censorship, worrying about how this character might be censored in the future. And yeah, you're probably wondering yourself, well, what's going on here? If you missed my videos and other people covering this stuff earlier this summer, you're probably very confused. Well, to remind you or inform you, Skullgirls earlier this year, around June and July, they came out with some big changes to their game where they censored a lot of the characters from their existing franchise. Now, these are characters that were included in games from 10 years ago. And the developers, the new developers of Skullgirls, went back and retroactively removed a lot of content featuring fan service of their related characters. And this was something that not only removed existing content, but it removed things that people paid for, like art books, for example. They removed the digital art books entirely. A lot of people legitimately lost things that they paid for because Skullgirls decided a decade after its game's release that these things are now problematic. And their developers, their new developers, were very open. There was leaked Discord screenshots like this where developers were mocking their own fan base and their previous developers as well, and basically treated them like they were the dirty sock in the corner that's been there for years, and just now they have time to finally get rid of it, referring to people upset about the censorship changes. So going back to this tweet that they made about a day ago, a lot of people are rightfully upset, and Skullgirls has lost a lot of respect from its fans and also potential fans as well as a result of their censorship campaign. And here's the thing, okay? Like, why would I invest in this new character you're presenting when I could have a legitimate concern about whether or not you're going to censor this in the future? Because I wouldn't put it past the developers, the current ones of Skullgirls, to be convinced or manipulated by Twitter into thinking this maid outfit is somehow exploitative and dangerous, and they might go back and censor this. It sounds ridiculous, but that's the kind of path that Skullgirls is on. They have made it very well known that they're going to listen to people crying on Twitter over their own fan base, even if it costs them a lot of respect and revenue as well. But I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane with these updates regarding these two franchises. Please make sure to share all of your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.